Welcome back to the DadPod. Unfortunately, this time it's just me, right? No guest today, and this format will run a few times during this 12-episode series. The DadPod. Sometimes I'm gonna say some things that you dads aren't gonna want to hear, right? But listen in. I'm not this guy online that's trying to trigger you or throw out a gimmick to make you clickbait or whatever it's called, right? But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to start uncomfortable conversations for men, right? Today's one is probably gonna land more than most. Why are men so weak? Why are we weak? Why have we got to this stage? Why do we crave comfort? Why do we have a problem being consistent and disciplined? You don't have to look statistically. I could throw around statistics all day long. I'm pretty sure you could go away and type into Google or ChatGPT and get some results and some stats that will confirm what I've just said, right? But I want you to avoid that. What I want you to do is look around. First and foremost, look in the mirror, right? This may not apply to you, right? Look at work colleagues. Look at family, look at friends, right? Look at them. Study them. I know we all people watch. Look, when it comes to clothes and cars, we're so judgmental, but let's look at people. Let's look at our fellow friends, right? And let's analyze, where are they at physically and mentally? And this is a big problem I have. Listen, man, and we're going to have this uncomfortable conversation. This is a problem I have. I've been working with men for 10 years. 10 years. And I've seen it all. There is a big, big problem. Men are weak. So it's easy to let things trigger you. It's easy to say, I'm not weak, I can bench press XYZ. I'm not weak, I can squat, I can run. This isn't what I'm talking about. It's part of what I'm talking about. And if you make it solely about this, then you know what you're doing. What I mean by weak, right, is that we've become so comfortable being less, being mediocre, not standing for things. I'll touch on it a bit later, but privilege is part of the problem, right? But we have become so comfortable being mediocre, we do not set our standards high enough. So what is the problem? Is it obesity? Is it obesity? Is being overweight? Is that the only problem when I talk about health? No. What about cardiovascular disease? What about low energy? What about erectile dysfunction? What about all these things? There are a whole group of men suffering with procrastination, suffering with all kinds of like depression and all kinds of mental unwellness, that every weekend, the first thing they do to relieve themselves of this is consume alcohol. Consume alcohol. Am I here anti-alcohol? Am I the anti-alcohol brigade? Absolutely not. But is it what we should be turning to solve our problems? Absolutely not. And this is what I mean by weak. We are seeking the easiest way to solve our problems. So that's the problem. But why does the problem exist? Why? Why are men so weak? I have 3 reasons why I believe so, but I'm pretty sure that you have your own answers. First and foremost, purposeful lives. We are not living purposeful lives. We seek fun. We seek instant gratification in everything we do. It's sold to us. It's the consumerist dream. Everything requires an instant answer. No purpose, no substance. We don't stand for things. And it's very easy, right? I live here in London, the UK. It's easy to forget about hardship. I get overweight. I'm pretty sure I can run to my doctor, some kind of tablets or gastric band. That will solve my problem. Doesn't really require that much hard work, right? Purpose, no real value. Everything is easy. That's our problem. We need to look deeper. What about your legacy? What about your children? How will your behaviors affect your children? Modern man seeks instant gratification. There is no purpose in his actions. Everything is about immediate results. What can make me happy instantly? Seeking purpose isn't an easy thing. It requires sitting still. In my book, I wrote a chapter solely on slowing the fuck down. To get any real understanding of purpose, you must slow down. Slowing down requires thinking. Most men don't want to think. Thinking results into recognizing you are in the fucking mud, that you have problems. That's why we don't slow down. That's why we move around at 100 miles an hour. That's why we stay busy. If you want to find purpose though, you have to slow down. You have to dig deeper. What really matters to you? What really matters to you? It's not the fucking latest pair of Nike Flyknit trainers or Ralph Lauren jumper. That's easy. That's easy stuff. That's like a quick fix for a crackhead, right? But what really matters to you? What's purposeful? What would you do regardless? It's a tough conversation to have. But that's one of the problems that us men have. No real purpose to our daily actions. Just ticking over month to month, getting by. Little trip to Dubai. Little trip to Turkey. Getting our hairline fixed. Listen, I'm not saying this doesn't help, but it's just instant gratification. The second reason as to why men are so weak is privilege without discipline. Again, living here in the UK, man, I live in a place where I stumble across opportunities. I live the greatest life of men that have ever existed. It's easy for me, man. But without discipline, these privileges become a problem. This is where obesity stems from. The access to food without the mentality to abstain from it, to just continue eating because it comforts you. Privileges without discipline create weak people. Free things. I remember my brother and myself, we ran a summer community project, right? And there was a whole idea, there was a concept. I was working with a coach at the time and he said, you should charge. And I was like, it doesn't make sense. It's a community project, make it free. And he said, if you don't charge, people won't respect it. You know, people are entitled, they're too privileged. When you give things for free, they don't appreciate the coach. You attract the wrong people. We did it for free. We learned the hard way. Became a shithole. People looked at it as a youth club. They turned up. They didn't respect the coaches. If you do not have the mindset, privileges become the problem. Comfort. I'm going to sit on this one for some time, right? Softness, comfort. Being a pussy, being a coward. We really have to drive this one home, right? It ties in. They all tie in with each other, but I'm going to drive this one home. Comfort is the death of a man. Things being easy. And it's different from privileges, right? But just comfort and craving it. When you are comfortable, you are not growing. Things need to be hard. You need to callous your mind, your skin, your muscles to enable you to be strong. Comfort is easy. I have 3 children, right? I have 3 children. I have a fiance. Comfort will not allow me to get to a position where I'm thriving for my family. Comfort will keep me month to month. And this isn't to demonize or condemn the man that lives month to month, but it definitely isn't the goal. It definitely isn't the goal. I want to be beyond that. I want to thrive. But comfort doesn't breed that type of mentality. But comfort is too often sold to us as men. I'm just okay. I'm okay. Okay is like the worst fucking saying ever, right? Okay is too close to the bottom. You don't want to do okay. Sometimes you're going to be okay, but it's not the benchmark. But it's sold to us. I think like it's even become more prominent amongst kids now. And innately as men, I think we have a competitive part of our genes, right? But as kids, it's like, it's okay to not compete at sports day. It's okay to not try and win. It's okay to just do okay. Like, it doesn't allow us to thrive. There is a consequence to being okay. Of course it's okay to be okay, but when shit goes wrong, you don't have enough buffer to do better, right? So the three things that I believe are keeping us weak are purposeless lives, no purpose, privilege without discipline, and comfort. And until we recognize these things as issues, the same as we recognize a lack of finance as an issue, we will continue to just get by. We'll continue to need to medicate for mental health. We will continue to be obese. And this is not me talking from an aesthetic perspective. This is me talking from individual well-being. I don't want you to not be overweight because you look better. I want you to be better physically so you can thrive as a person, right? The same mentally, you know? There's no great gain in me telling you to exercise to improve your mental health. But for you and your family, it's an important factor for you to thrive. So I'm going to put a challenge out there, right? I've got a challenge for you, man. And I want this challenge to really drive home a message. The challenge is to do something brave and stop being a coward, right? And this does not have to look like joining the army. That's not what I'm asking for you, man. Like, we're not talking like being Captain America or Thor, right? I'm talking about improving your life incrementally. Being brave enough to take a step forward, okay? This may mean taking a day off work, right? To get yourself together, to get your finances together, to take a step back from the rat race and slow things down to actually have certain conversations with certain people in your family. That is the first step to becoming strong, is being brave. Are you prepared? Are you prepared as a man in your life to recognize that you're being weak? Because I'm still weak. I'm still weak. I have people in my life that remind me that, not in a condescending way, but in an empowering way. Everybody's still weak. The issue I have with the modern man is that he's accepted it. So the opposite to being weak is being strong. The first step to being strong is being brave. Be brave. What are you going to do to be brave? Is it a conversation you need to have? Is it a conversation you need to have with your boss about a demotion so you can free up more time with your family and improve your health? So you can come back in 18 months on top of your mental and physical health and thriving. Is it a conversation you need to have with your partner about delegating work at home? Is it a conversation that you need to have with yourself about your spending habits? You, every weekend, getting pissed out your face and consuming A-class drugs. You need to be brave. And I would advise you strongly to start really small. So this is my challenge. I want to finish, anytime you see me, when I'm doing a podcast by myself, I really want to end it with a challenge. I really want to drive home a challenge because I want to create action for us men. I want us men to thrive. It's important to think. A lot of the times people go on these podcasts and they create a lot of like thoughtful insights, but there's no action. Steps forward require action. At the base of any new action is bravery. I want us men to be stronger. I'm tired of us being weak. I'm tired of us being low on energy, struggling financially. I'm tired with us men being out of place mentally and physically. So the challenge is, you need one thing you're gonna do that requires bravery, and let that become a habit. Let that become a part of your daily routine. Men, stop being weak.